Okay, great. So it's being recorded as well here. I need to click. Okay, so I really recommend to watch the keynote, of course, but as well Devs on Stage for all the announcement on the new innovation, and the Viz contest. I run Viz, it's always quite fun to watch. We also announced that to really bring that gap closer, we want to enable more people with data literacy skills. And so we want to enable 10 million people in the next 5 years. And that will be enabled through, for example, school training, university training, etc., to really make more people data literate and bridge that gap. And as well, in order to bridge that gap, we realized that there's actually two different types of users who wants to drive and do analytics. So first, that's the data-centric users. So those data-centric users are really curious and want to ask a lot of questions and are quite confident already to get insights out of the data. That's your 30% of people here. Are confident enough to interact with dashboards, ask questions in natural languages, and even build a visualization themselves. But then there's a huge proportion of users actually who are not confident enough and are more workflow-centric users. So those are really the users that will actually use analytics, use dashboards only if it's embedded right where they work every day, inside the app they work, whether it is Salesforce or any internal business application, it needs to be embedded right where they take decisions every day. And so we really want to enable that all types of users are able to use analytics with the Tableau platform. And so we've actually divided all the key innovations into 5 different building blocks to enable data-driven organizations. So the first one is all around trust and governance, because of course it's really important to be agile, but in a governed way by IT. The second block is around loved by data people. We know that as soon as you start with Tableau, lots of people love using it and share what amazing things they've done with it. And so we are creating lots of new features to make it even more intuitive, easier, and nice to create visualizations and dashboards. The third building blocks is on embedding it into the business applications where you are currently working. And the fourth one is on easy and smart. So for easy and smart, it's all about having augmented analytics with AI and machine learning to help you make smarter decisions. And the last block is all on collaborative. So it's really to have quick and easy sharing and collaboration. So first one, trust and governance. It's actually all about unlocking all your data. So we know that in most organizations, the data is actually everywhere. So they have tens or hundreds of different business apps, internal data in SAP, Oracle, SQL Server, external data, local files on Excel, etc. And the real insights actually come when you're able to connect all of these at scale, but also in a trusted and reliable way. And so that's why, for example, we've made lots of innovation coming this year in the data management platform. So we launched data management a couple of years ago, but there's been lots of innovation coming over the years and a lot of new innovation coming this year. So first for data preparation with Tableau Private Builder, because we realize that if we don't make it easy for business users to reshape the data within the platform, we know that they will just take it out into Excel and actually you will lose control of the quality and the security of your data. So we really want to enable every Tableau user to use Tableau Prep Builder to clean, combine, and prepare the data so that it's all traceable and you know exactly what transformation actually is being done. And one of the announcements was actually that Tableau Prep is coming to Tableau Public. So that means that everyone from the Tableau community will be able to use Tableau Prep for free from Tableau Public, so to take advantage of the community and see what amazing prep flow they can create. Second layer is around trust. So for trust, it's all about the catalog. So we've made lots of improvement in the catalog to integrate, for example, with external enterprise catalog. And the third one is all around the security, so virtual connections and centralized row-level security. That really allows you to, as a data steward, to centrally manage all the data connections, whether you connect live to your data, and apply row-level security directly from Tableau server and monitor that the right security has been applied. So that's coming in the next release. And 21.4 is actually just around the corner. It's coming tomorrow. So on Tableau Prep, on top of the announcement for Tableau Prep in Tableau Public, we also said that now it's 100% in the browser, so you don't need to have a local install of Tableau Prep. You can now put to database. You can do as well spatial data and spatial calcs transformation. And there's been lots of improvements in terms of performance with in-database processing. So let's move to the loved by data people building block. So here it's all the innovation that make it a lot easier and smoother and intuitive for any Tableau user to use Tableau. So for that, we're really investing to make it even faster and easier to discover different data assets that have been published to Tableau. And then once you found the data, you can actually explore that with augmented analytics, or you can just dig into them without leaving the browser, and you have the full visual analytics experience from the browser. And we are also enabling more advanced visualizations than ever. So that's one actually of my favorite new features coming next year. It's called Vis Extensions, and it lets you, for example, define new visualization types and interact with them with a full visual experience. So how does that look like? So basically, you may have done donut chart or different types of chart like flower chart here before. Of course, these are not out-of-the-box charts, but the community have created them, and you can easily already now download them and do some reverse engineering to use them with your data. But the really new innovation here coming next year is that you will be able to once you've created a new type of visualization, and there's actually no limit into the type of visualization that you can do with Tableau. Once you've created a new type of visualization, you can actually upload it on Tableau Exchange to allow anyone to use this visualization and import it and actually create this visualization using just the drag and drop experience into the marks type that really allows you to very quickly and easily create any type of visualization that you want. We also announced that we really want to close the loop on actionable analytics. So of course, dashboards is great. It provides you some really interesting insights, but the next step is to take action on the insights. And so we really want to turn dashboards into applications by enabling the user who accesses the dashboard to take action straight from the dashboard. For example, to write data back to a database, for example. This is, of course, something that was already possible with some extensions from the dashboard, but now this will be actually available out of the box in the next year. Workbook optimizer, that's actually really nice as well. So we understand that, of course, sometimes your dashboard is not performing very well. It's quite slow. And there may be actually many reasons to why the dashboard is slow. There's actually a white paper that is 150 pages long that you can read to help you with lots of little tips and tricks. We've made it a lot easier now because once you publish your dashboard, you can have these performance checks that tells you how good your dashboard is from all those tips and tricks. Do you apply them? and it tells you what is wrong, what can you do to improve performance before you publish your dashboard. This is coming actually as from tomorrow in the 21.4 release. So next building block is all around embedded in business apps. Should I just, do we have questions so far? Any remarks, Fatima? Or...
For the moment, no.
Okay, so do not hesitate.
I think you can take them at the end, yeah.
Okay, perfect. Let's do
Thank
that.
you.
So embedded in business apps. First announcement was really around dashboard accelerators. So we announced during the Tableau conference the acquisition of Lintao. You may know already Lintao because it was a Swiss-based partner based in Switzerland. Lintao is now part of Salesforce and Tableau family. And it provides actually a range of accelerators, so dashboard templates that you can use for key application and connect for different industry, verticals, lines of business. And it really increases the time to market, the time to value, and give you a starting point for you to innovate and then customize a lot faster. So you can access this as from now, actually, on Tableau Exchange website. So Tableau Exchange website is basically the old extension gallery, which contains already the dashboard extensions and connectors that we had before. But now you have the accelerators that allows you to have here lots of different templates that you can use for different industry or for Salesforce data or other types of data. One example here is the sales dashboard. It contains as well very advanced analysis where you can do, for example, RFM analysis, recency, frequency, monetary value, or customer lifetime value. And all of that actually is available now here. You can download the workbook that comes with the template data. If you want to use your data, that's the attribute that you would need. And from there, it will automatically create all those KPIs and answer all those business questions. So it's really to accelerate the time to value. So that's Tableau Exchange. I really encourage you to go have a look there, and we encourage all Tableau partners to publish new templates as well, new dashboard templates, new connectors, and extensions on this exchange. It's really about a marketplace of all types of contents to facilitate the deployment of Tableau. So of course, you know that Tableau is no part of the Salesforce family, Salesforce or HANA as we call it. That means that of course it's been a few years now, it's been 2 years. But that means that now, of course, our R&D team has been quite busy trying to integrate and integrating the two solutions, the two platforms together. And there have been a lot of announcements as well onto that. There was already a solution called Einstein Analytics that allows to do analytics from within Salesforce that is native to Salesforce. This solution has been renamed to Tableau CRM. So I know a lot of people have been a bit confused. What is Tableau? What is Tableau CRM? What is the difference? And when should I use which one? And it's understandable. And actually, the difference is really in terms of the use case. Basically, if the user is within Salesforce, is taking action and discovering things from the Salesforce workflow, then Tableau CRM is the best solution because it's completely native and integrated inside Salesforce. For all the other use cases, for all the users who are taking action outside of Salesforce, the standard Tableau desktop online server and prep is recommended. Of course, the two technologies are quite different, and we are integrating more and more both together. I will speak a bit about that. But Tableau CRM is really the solution recommended for taking actions from Salesforce. So because it's native, so you don't have to recreate the security layer that has been created in Salesforce. It's all integrated. There's as well some AI built in right into the workflow. It's complete and connected. You can connect as well to external data from Salesforce. It's not only Salesforce data, it can be external data. And it's really, really efficient in terms of speed and scale, taking advantage of the full scale of the Salesforce platform. So of course, at the moment, the two solutions are quite distinct and the use cases are very distinct. And we do have a lot of customers who are having both Tableau CRM and Tableau because they are quite complementary if you're inside Salesforce or outside Salesforce. And the technology is slightly different, but we are working on building a deep interoperability between the two solutions. So of course, the first one that has been announced beginning of this year with the AI layer, so with Einstein Discovery in Tableau, allowing you to build predictive models, AI models with clicks, not code, and deploy that straight from Tableau. But of course, soon as well, and it's starting already, we are able to input or output data from Tableau to Tableau CRM and inversely. And in the future, of course, we want that to be fully integrated experience, whether you are in Salesforce or outside of Salesforce. So I spoke a bit about AI and this Einstein component. It's actually one of the big announcements as well at the TC. We said actually that we announced that AI is of course a team sport and we want to really democratize AI. Why do we want to democratize AI? Because we know that data science is quite important and we want to provide the right tools for the data scientists, but we want to enable and empower more people to do data science so that we can scale actually the AI across the whole organization. And so that's why we already announced lots of new features and capabilities for the data scientists, integrating with R and Python, for example, as well AI capabilities for the business users, so that it can, for example, ask questions with Ask Data in natural languages, and behind it is machine learning algorithm as well that acts and shows a perfect visualization for the question that the user has, but as well more augmented analytics with explained data to understand the why of any data points. And then in the middle, we realized that there are still an opportunity to deploy AI at scale by enabling I would say, the Tableau champions to do more and to be more confident to use those AI techniques himself or herself directly from Tableau. So from Tableau platform, you will be able to create a predictive model using just drag and drop experience like you are used to in Tableau without writing no line of code at all. You will be confident enough to understand how good your model is, how performant it is, and deploy it in production in a very easy way to allow end users to see score, for example, propensity to buy, or propensity to do anything basically on customer, but it can be there's actually lots of use cases about predicting what will happen in the future based on historical data. So augmented analytics for business user, we announced Ask Data for viewers and Explain Data for viewers. And with this, we really want to enable everyone to do more advanced analytics. Before it was only restricted to explorers, and now every Tableau user can use it. We also announced augmented data exploration with data change radar. So this makes it easy to stay on top of your data by using this AI technology that monitor automatically your dashboard behind the scenes, and it notifies you when an anomaly or an outlier is detected. Okay, so it's really combining the power of explained data as well that allows you after to deep dive into the possible explanation behind this unexpected value. But it will alert you directly if there's an unexpected change in your data so that you can ask why is this happening and understand the root cause and the issue. For the data scientist, we also, so you can already use R and Python from Tableau. Now it's 100% secret communication. So you can really deploy that in an organization everywhere in a very easy way. And regarding business science, so for the Tableau Advanced Analyst, we talked about Einstein discovery, but there's actually a lot more coming. So the first step this year was to be able to access those models built into Einstein discovery inside Tableau, so to deploy the predictions in Tableau dashboard. But coming very soon you will be able to build the model natively from Tableau. So that's actually quite game changing, because that means Tableau is not anymore a self-service BI tool, but it's also a self-service data science tool. And coming after as well soon is a simulation scenario building that will allow you to simulate outcomes and scenarios. So just some screenshot here of how we will be able to build models straight from Tableau. So from Tableau server, after you prepare, for example, your flow in Tableau prep, you will be able to build a model, choose the target, specify the inputs, see how good your model is, and then deploy that directly from Tableau. And scenario planning is coming as well next year. That's really we want to try to make people avoid outputting lots of Excel data to make scenario planning and then lose control of what is being done. And so we want to enable them to do that as well straight from Tableau, natively in Tableau, compare different scenarios, and if Einstein as well recommend you what inputs you can change to maximize your outcome variable, to optimize your outcome variable. So scenario planning is coming to Tableau very soon. On the collaborative layer, which is the last layer, the main announcement was really to that Tableau now integrates directly with Slack. So you probably know that Slack is also part of Salesforce family. You can now have directly Slack notifications from Tableau directly in the flow of your work within Slack. So you don't have to leave Slack, and you are alerted of any type of alerts, share, comments, etc. made on Tableau server directly on Slack. Okay, so that was it for the different innovations. I spoke quite a lot. I hope it was clear enough, and you understood the most new features coming here. I've just put a one-pager here with all the announcements if you want to deep dive on all of them later on and read what was announced. All of the highlights from the devs on stage are here. So with that, I think I will stop sharing, and don't know if we have time for question now or later at the end. I don't mind.
Wow, thank you. I had not seen the announcements, all of them, so excellent to know all of this. Thank you, Julie, for this comprehensive overview. Does anyone have a question for Julie? You can raise your hand or type it in the Q&A section.
I can maybe.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll ask a question because I was super excited about this, and you talked about it, but I didn't see a lot about it at the conference, and maybe I missed it. So it's the Tableau actions, because this is something that I see a lot with clients, where Tableau is so interactive that they want that extra bit where it's like, now I want Tableau to go talk to something else. And so when are Tableau actions? This is super exciting. And when are they coming? And what kind of, can you talk a little bit more about that?
So I don't have exact dates on when this is coming. It's definitely something that our team is working right now to build in the solution. Typically, it will be in the next year, so between now and 1 year time. And it will start with some key actions and then eventually evolve to have a lot of different types of actions. and possibly as well the Tableau partner community will be able to create as well some type of actions that we can integrate in the dashboards as well.
Okay, thank you.
Great. I also had a technical question with the availability of prep on web. In fact, do we have all the functionality really, or it's limited?
Yeah, all the functionalities from Tableau Prep Builder is available in the browser, so it's 100%
Wow.
match. Yeah.
Wow. Awesome. Okay.
That is super impressive.
Yep. Wow. Great. If there are no more questions, maybe we can move on in the interest of time. For the new participants who have joined us a little bit later, Joana will post a link in the chat right now. Please register there because if you do not register there, we will not be able to make you participate in the lucky draw for the famous book, Information is Beautiful. And it is an excellent book. So please do sign up. Next up on our agenda is Joana and I talking about some technical highlights. So our talk is going to be a bit more technical than Julie's, and we're going to actually open Tableau and show you the best tricks that we have learned this time from the Tableau conference. So shall we go, Joana?
Yes, let's go.
Okay, good. So do you see my screen?
I see it, yes.
Thank you. Right, so also repeating the link that Julie just shared, if you filter by conference this year, there are like 200 presentations to review, a lot of material, and of course we are showing a very biased selection of material that we love. So please feel free to browse at your own pace this material, which is very rich. So we're going to show you 6 tips, technical tips that we have learned this year, and also some bonus stuff that comes at the end. So I'll dive right into it. The first tip, it's very annoying when you want to create a highlight table from a discrete field. This, I do not want this, I want this. And it is very hard to do with a discrete field. So I'm gonna go into this chart and convert it into the into the right chart. So just to set up again the problem, I have a discrete field, 2 discrete fields, segments and category on my columns and rows, and I want to color this this chart by this field, which is not. You can see that it's blue. It's not a measure, and you can see that if I bring it to square or any shape for that matter, the square is small. I could try to increase the size, but at some point, what happens that it does not really size well, and it's just completely out of whack. This is the best I can do, which is quite ugly. There's an excellent solution, which is dummy fields. I love dummy fields. So basically, you need 1 dummy field on your rows and 1 on your columns. And then you can hide your dummy fields, of course. And now, if you oversize your squares, they do not get out of their proper square, and you get the beautiful highlight table that you wanted. Yay. I really don't know why it works. Sorry.
I love this
Joana.
tip. No, I just wanted to say I'm really glad you brought this one up because it's so simple, but it's so frustrating when you're trying to do it. And now I just use it constantly. I've noticed myself, whenever I try to build this viz, I will add the dummy fields, even though I probably don't need them. That's just how I naturally do it now. And just avoid any future problems.
Yeah.
I find myself using it all the time now.
Yeah, it's an excellent tip. Very simple, very effective. Tip number 2, we want to filter an ordered list. A bit technical, but follow. I will try to make you follow with me. I have ordered my subcategories by the sales, and on color you have the category. Now, if I filter my category, remember that phones has the most sales in my case, and chairs has the second most sales. If I filter by category, now my chairs becomes the first. I don't want this. What I want is when I filter on category, it still keeps the previous ordering. So in order to achieve that, I will remove both filters and let's go to the bad sheet. The problem here is that I'm filtering on the category, which is a dimension, and dimension filters happen before any table calculations. And since, of course, this ranking is a table calculation, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. When I filter on the category, the dimension filter filters, and then the rank is calculated. So the simple solution is to create another dummy filter if you want. I'm not sure it's the right term, but it's basically a table calculation, but it's returning exactly what I want to filter on. It's returning a category. This lookup returns nothing but the same category. But instead of filtering on the field dimension field category, if I filter on this new field, yep, now I will have the behavior that we wanted, which is it will preserve these numbers. It will preserve my ranking. So just by changing your dimension filter to a table calculation filter, you achieve this preservation of your order in a list that has been ordered by a table calculation. The third tip, I want to sort a category based on a calculation. So for example, here I've set up a chart where I have my categories of products, and then I have my regions. And basically what I want to do is sort, but I want to sort kind of each column in a different way. So I want to achieve this result. Of course, what you would naturally tend to do in Tableau is put region on your rows. I have not shown the header, but you would put it because otherwise, if you take away region from your row pile, you have an accumulation which you do not want. So if you put region on your rows, that actually forces the order in which the regions appear. And therefore, I cannot achieve this result by putting regions on my row shelf. So the solution is to play a bit with index, or you can use any other table calculation that you love. We will remove rows from here. We will introduce index. We will make it discrete, and then we will compute it based on, we will restart them on every category, and we will sort them on sales. Sum of sales descending. And voila. So now basically the object that is ordering my rows here is no longer the region itself, but this index, which is actually calculating itself in every category, and it gives me the desired result. Of course, I can stop showing the header, so it's much nicer. The fourth tip, it's kind of a bar chart improvement if you want. I had never seen this, but I really like this. So we have a very normal bar chart here where I have subcategory and I have colored by category. You notice that they are quite non-uniform, as in we have like phones here and chairs here that are super high, and then we have these very small categories. And to me, it seems like there's quite a lot of white here. It's a little bit disturbing. This is a great tip. If you just put some kind of reference line to guide the user, basically what you're doing is you're drawing a line at the maximum of this group for every mark in the viz. So for example, I can show you what I've done here is just taken a double axis of sales with the window max of sales, so that basically the window max gives me basically this value. I have reduced the bar size a lot so that it just becomes a very thin line. And this gives me this effect of kind of having a visual aid to seeing, okay, fastener is really far from my maximum sales. And this guy is actually also not equal to my maximum sales. I can actually see that the phones have still more sales than chairs and so on. I know that Joana is not super happy with this tip, so I will let her chime in.
I wouldn't say that I'm not super happy, but I did follow the session where this was presented. I thought it was very interesting, but as a fan of bar charts, which I know you also are, I felt we're overcomplicating a bar chart, something that is so easy and quick to just do in Tableau. And I totally see what you mean, though, that it makes it very easy to do the comparison between the phones and the chairs. But yes, I have mixed feelings about this one. Feels like we're adding, we're polluting the viz, if you want, a little bit. So I'm not fully convinced, but I think it's nice that you know how to do it if you want to do it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's leave it there. We agree to disagree, but I think that my next tip you will really like, which is going from here to here. So this is quite hot. A lot of people talked about kind of putting spaces between different categories, because if you have this chart, it's like there's no separation between the blue category and the orange and the red and so on. So what if we could just put some space? And of course, the dashboarder in me said, well, I will just pull up 3 sheets and put them in a dashboard. But there's a much better way of doing it. So instead of pulling multiple sheets into your dashboard, what you can do is actually pull up the totals. Oops. So I'm going to bring it all the totals here, but I actually do not want to see them. So what I'm going to do is I can hide them. And then I can also hide the name of my total, which is here. I can just leave the label blank. And this gives me this nice separation. It really creates some space in the ways that was needed, I think. And I think this, Joana, you like.
I love this one because I also get asked this all the time, and it's the same. You either have to do 3 sheets, or if there's less categories, you can try to do multiple measures and then have dummy measures, which I've also done when there's not so many categories as here. And this is just so clean. I can't believe I only found this out. Well, I was at this TC. I wish I had learned it earlier. It would have saved me some grief.
Yeah, indeed.
It's so clean. Yeah, I love it.
It's very, very nice trick. And my last trick is to use an empty shape. This also has been quite hot and has been shown at the TC to improve the highlighting actions in Tableau, but I will not go into this. My personal favorite use of the empty shape is this. So if you have a line chart, or actually, if you have a line chart that shows a trend, but you want to highlight only a certain point, how would you go about doing that? That is an excellent use of what we call an empty shape. For that, you do need to input. So I'm going to just build the viz and show you how I added the empty shape. I need to make a double axis. Of course, we love double axes. And then I will synchronize them and hide one of them because I really don't need them. Right, so now I have 2 axes. I will play with the first one and I will move it to shape. Of course, it is now giving me a shape, a circle for every point. But what I want is, I've prepared this field that is for me preparing what the month that I want to highlight in my graph, but it could be anything according to your business logic. What I want to highlight in my graph is for each category. So for each subcategory, I want to highlight the maximum point, the month with the maximum sales. So this is the calculation that gives me that. I'll bring it to shape. And of course, the magic is that I've already done this, so you don't see it, but I've already input a custom shape in my Tableau workbook, which is just a blank square. You can have a blank circle or whatever, it doesn't matter. But the point is that I assign this blank shape to everything but the thing that I want highlighted. And that highlights for me, in my use case, the month with the maximum sales everywhere. So for each subcategory. And now I find this much nicer. I can really see a trend here, for example. It really makes a difference. So these are my the best tips I saw at the Tableau conference today, and of course I should share the sources with you. You will have this this workbook is available on Tableau Public, so don't panic. All these links are available to you. And then Joana has prepared a bonus slide. So do you want to take over, Joana?
Yes. So on top of the presentations on the videos, the sessions that have those tips, which I'm always a big fan of at TC. I always like learning these Tableau tips and tricks. We decided to put together a top 3 of basically our favorite sessions, I think, at Tableau conference. So the first one, and of course you have the links, and we encourage everyone to, well, you should explore if you have time, all 210, because there's really great stuff. But yeah, so the first one would be dashboarding tips from a professional graphics designer. So this is just, I found a super clean presentation from someone that brings a different perspective from what I'm used to. So I think it's a UX designer from Interworks. And she does this analogy about building a dashboard and building a house and being in a house, and it's just it's just very nice and very clean and very clear, and I enjoyed it a lot, and I think you did too, Fatima.
That's true.
So I will let you actually talk about the top 2, because I know you're a big fan of that one.
Yep. It actually, I mean, I'm a big fan of simplicity. So yeah, there's a bit of a selection bias, because the idea they have put out is exactly what I think about Viz, that they should be as simple as possible. So this the second talk for the second talk, they have gathered business users from 2 institutions, the University of Kentucky and Cornell College, and basically they're talking about how they use Tableau and self-service BI to present data to their stakeholders. I like the first part is also nice, but the second part of the presentation is kind of an illustration of interpretability versus complexity for me. In the second part, they talk about the story of Cornell College. It's a small college, 1,000 pupils are enrolled there. What they're interested in, though, is following. So students declare their interest when they start studies, and then after the first year, they're able to change their majors. And what Cornell College wanted to follow is from what majors do people change and they go to which majors. And you think about this and you think, it's kind of a flow, so I'm going to do a Sankey chart. And they did exactly that. So they built a huge prep flow for that. It was a complex prep flow. They did a Sankey chart, and it did not serve the stakeholders at all. So at the end, they ended up doing a quadrant chart, which is basically a 2D plot. It's a scatter plot of majors, and they classified them by majors where people that are stable, let's say. So people go and people stay. The majors that are extremely unstable, so people come and go all the time, and then the majors where people tend to go and the majors that people tend to leave. And it was super successful with the stakeholders because it was so simple, and I love simplicity. I'm gonna stop talking now.
No, I totally agree. I mean, seeing the before and after is amazing. Yeah, and I'm a big fan of scatter plots. So, and I don't always find a use for them, or that I get to use them as much as I would like. And that was just such a perfect example. Yeah, it was great. Yeah. All right, and then the other one is a session about performance. So the reason, I mean, if you're a regular Tableau user, you know that this can consume a lot of your time improving workbook performance and dashboard performance. And as Judy said, there's a 150-page white paper that you can read about it, or you can get the nice distilled condensed version that really gives you just a great overview of the stuff that you can work on to improve or think about before you start designing and while you're designing your dashboards to improve performance. And it's just, I think, a very nice, clean summary. So I recommend that.
Good. Thank you, Joana. And lastly, I would just like to say that here's our contact. We thank you very much for your time, and I hope that you found these tips useful. Our next event is in February, and I hope to see you there. And I see that we have already some questions. You want to take them, Joana?
Well, I'm not sure it was a question as much as a comment. Pavel did post that he loves the radical candor between Joana and Fatima. I will take it as a compliment. Thank you, Pavel. Yes.
Okay.
Any more questions or comments? People are free, should feel free to raise their hands, and we can in principle unmute or post them in the Q&A.
Yeah. And Pavel also says, thank you to Julie for sending him data from the last presentation in Lausanne. He found it very useful because he has been playing around with it in Einstein. Thank you for participating, Pavel. All the power to you. All right. Do we have any other comments? So should we look at the lucky winners, Joana?
Yes, let's do it. Let me share my screen.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's see if this works. Can you see the screen? Bear with me here.
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. So just in case you're you connected and you haven't heard about this, basically we're doing a lucky draw. We're going to do it in Tableau because, of course, we're big Tableau fans. If you haven't entered your name, you can still do it. We'll give you a minute. You can either scan this QR code or type in this URL on your browser, and it will send you to a Google form where you can put in your name and your email address. We do need a valid email address so we can actually send you the book. So yeah, and we're basically going to draw for a chance to win a copy of this book. Information is beautiful. So we have 8 people that have signed up so far. You can see the pool of people that have signed up here. Thank you to those who have signed up. I will quickly refresh the data just in case someone signed up in the meantime. No. What do you think, Fatima? Should we wait a minute?
I can't wait.
You can't wait.
No.
Okay, let's do it then. Okay, time for the draw then. Here we go. First name, Tom Bat. Congratulations. Sounds like a superhero. Let's add into the winners. Congratulations. We have now 7 people in the pool. Let's draw another name. Thomas. We have a theme of names, it seems. Congratulations, Thomas.
Congratulations.
All right, another name. Pavel. Congratulations, Pavel.
Nice.
Let's add into the winners. And we have 2 more. Laurelene. Congratulations. And okay, 1 and 4, the last winner of a copy of Information is Beautiful is Francis.
Congratulations to all the winners, and thank you for playing, everyone.
Yes, you'll be hearing from us, and we'll hopefully get that copy of the book to you. Thank you so much.
We will ask for your address, obviously on a private email, so that we can send you the book. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today, and hope to see you next time. We will send you a follow-up email with all the material.
Thank you so much, and thank you, Julie.
Thank you, Julie. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Good evening.
Bye-bye.